All right, welcome everyone. So today we're going to be taking a look at a hack the box, or excuse me, hack smarter machine called Welcome. It's an easy machine. I just went through it real quickly and then made a video on it. Making a video now because it actually incorporates a lot of things that you learn within the Hacking Active Directory course I released. So if you head over to academy.simplycyber.io, see that Hacking Active Directory course. And if you look in the description, there should be a YouTube little thing in there, or I think it's 10% off. I think there's like 50 of them, and I think there's probably like 40 left or something like that. But it's kind of a scroll down, just kind of going through what you learned, everything. But everything we do, that we're going to do here, we actually learned in that course. Pretty close to every single thing that we do within this lab, we actually learned that course. I just want to showcase that real quick. And now we'll go ahead and we'll hop over to it. That's over here on my Kali machine. I already have VPN. Let me go ahead and grab that again. Reload that onto here. Copying over from my host machine. We'll go ahead and we'll do a quick nano welcome. Actually, don't have to do a sudo. Let's do a nano welcome.VPN. Drop that in there. Let's do a sudo open VPN welcome.openVPN. All right, now we're there. So let's go ahead and start off with our initial enumeration. Right, we do receive credentials at the very beginning of this. Like I said, I have already gone through it. I through it pretty quickly. Figured I was like, oh well, video on it. A lot of stuff on here is stuff that I learned. We do get the credentials. If you look at the actual page there, you get these credentials like right here. So we'll just go ahead and we'll say echo that to a user pass text. We do have credentials. We can start off trying a couple things, right? I always like to try certify. Okay, certify fine. Tac U, E.Hills. Tac P, say I love my job, 2025. And we'll go ahead and we'll say tac P CIP is going to be that domain controller IP address, which for me is going to be 10.154.50. Tac enabled, tac STD out, and tac vulnerable. Do that. While that's running, we'll do an in packet get user SPNs. Right here, and we can see that we need domain, username, passwords. We'll go ahead and throw in the domain of welcome local, username of E.Hills, then that password again, which is not that. Password of this at the IP address, at the domain IP address. So that domain controller will enter there. And we seem to have some type of LDAP bind errors here. We do have, looks like, certificate here, right? But nothing else really that we can go off of right now. Nothing vulnerable. So let's go ahead and let's do a Bloodhound. Bloodhound Python, right? We'll say tac U, E.Hills, tac D for the domain. We'll just say tac P like real quick for the password. I'll go ahead and throw my IP address in there again. Go. Tac D for domain, welcome.local. Then we'll do a tac BC or tac NS name server, which is going to be the domain for IP address. Let's say tac C all for the collection method. Well, that's where we'll go ahead and we'll set up. We'll get Bloodhound up and running. Bloodhound's up and running here. Boom. There we go. And I do already have the data in here, so I technically could start to look through it, but we'll go ahead and we'll correct way. Also, what we'll go ahead and we'll show is how to actually clear a database within the new Bloodhound. We'll do a Control F clear. There's clear database. Right? We can actually make a curl request for it. There should be a try it out button somewhere. There, try it out. There we go. And execute it. And there's the curl command. We go ahead and copy that. You can bring it back to yourself, whatever you want to do. Right? But I believe it did already run whenever you type that in. But that's just going to go ahead and that's going to clear that database for us. Hop back over in here, do explore, and it does take a minute. Right, but we can see that there's nothing in here now. But it does take a minute to actually do that database. We're going to go to quick upload. We'll try to put some more stuff into here. So that's what I do with Bloodhound data, desktop hack smart out. Welcome. Try to do that. Try to adjust it one more time. Oh, try to adjust the upload. Is that successfully suggested how many files? Okay. Okay, close because I just successfully adjusted the files there. I think it was EDI hills, right? We didn't adjust anything. This is one of the things that I don't like about the newest Bloodhound is clearly the database. You never know, like, did it work? Did it not work? And it just needs to be broken like right now. Way to be. We'll start back up again. Base actually work or no? Oh, there we go. E.hills, right? There we go. So it decided to work this. So we'll click on E.hills here, see if he has anything. And it doesn't seem like we have any outbound object controls here. Okay. Go and check out shares, right? So we'll do our NXC SMB at u E.hills. P is his password, which is right here. Let's do a tac shares, tac users. Right. Here. See what we got here. So we do have a share. We have a few resources that we can read, and we do have some users down here. Go ahead and just do a tac users and make a username list. Let's say here print $1, 2, 3, 4, maybe. I think we do it like that. Maybe it's an awk. Maybe it's awk. Okay. There we go. Cool. So that's going to print those out like right there. So we'll go ahead and we'll save that as user.text. Just kind of fix it. Text. And then what we'll do from there is we'll also go ahead and we'll look at this human resources. That real quick. That's a B client. Boom. As you can see, like I said, I already did it. Human resources, welcome.local e-hills. Make sure it's welcome.local and e-hills over here. And then go ahead and throw in his password for hers. Okay. EIR. We got quite a few PDFs in here, so let's just go ahead and do a pop off. Recurse on and get star. I'll get everything for us, like right there. Example here. Then we do a Firefox star.pdf. We can open up all of them at once. We do see a little holiday schedule here. Welcome benefits. We do get an email down here, hr@welcome.local. And we didn't even run RustGAD on this or anything else. We haven't ran anything on it, so we don't know if something like simple mail transfer protocol, SMTP or anything like that is up and running. So we don't know if SWOX will work or anything like that, but that is something we could always keep in the back of our mind. We do have that hr@welcome.local. Then we get this one right here. It says enter a password. Go ahead and try to crack that password real quick. We'll do a PDF to John on that welcome start guide. We'll put that in the hash.text. I'll put that hash.text. This is something that John can read. We'll say John hash.text for that word. This is rocket.text. Just say no passwords cracks off the hash because we've already cracked it. If I go ahead and I locate john.pop, hopefully I can find it. Of course I can't. Find / check name. John.pop. No, let's try something like that. Okay, there we go. We found it. Go ahead and remove that card like that. Then we can go ahead and rerun this again. Or we can look at that john.pop file, obviously, if it's a real assessment using john.pop file. We would do what we just did. You see the password human resources. Go ahead and hop over back in here. We'll throw in that password, say OK. And we do get this welcome 2025 @ for the temporary default password. If you remember earlier, we already made that user.text. Let's go ahead and cat that. Or let's actually go ahead and supply that users.text file. We'll delete what we need to delete here. Pretty easy day so far. And just like I thought before, remember when I said I thought there was a certificate? There's a service certificate authority, that's service web link right there. So now we can do an NXC, SMB, boom, users.text, and that password that we received from the PDF there, right? That welcome start guide. And we'll go ahead and we'll throw that and we'll say continue on success. You go through all these different users' names. Did I not say that user? Going through some weird user. All right, and we do get this A.Harris. So we now have A.Harris. Now we know that there's only so many shares here because we already looked at them. We may be able to write something like that, but for right now, we're just going to stick with that A.Harris and just go back to our Bloodhound data. Let's see if we have anything. A.Harris. Click on him, and he seems to have some outbound object controls over generic all over the user iPark. Let's see what iPark has. iPark has some outbound object controls over service CA, force change password over service CA, and service web. So let's go back to A.Harris. We have that iPark generic all, which means that we can change his password or we can do a target curve roasting. We're probably just going to change his password, even though right now if we do a target curve roasting, because I have not reset this environment, it would actually work. But we're going to go ahead and we're just going to reset his password to show you how I did it from the start here. Go ahead and pull this into there. All right, but we're actually going to do our, let's see if I do that. That would actually not. Yep. And we're going to change out airodump-ng, right? Password, welcome.local, and we'll say, hey, our username is actually A.Harris. The password of that welcome password. That's what we just figured out. We have generic all over iPark, so we can do it in our RPC password. We change the password. There we go. Okay, that worked. Now, if we go ahead and we do it in RPC, do that save that thing again, except for this time, we're going to be focused on service CA because we have force change password, right? That we just saw. We'll change this to airodump-ng with a password that we just set, which is @SSWZORD exclamation point. And pull that in there. And now we have the service CA's password. Now, why would we have a service CA if we don't have anything in certificates? So let's go ahead and check those certificates again. Because what happens within certificates is sometimes if it's a certain user that can manipulate a certificate, you actually won't see anything. Go do a certified find again. This time, instead of looking under A.Harris or iPark or eHild or whoever else, we're actually going to look at service CA. The password of ESIS history. Certify. Then we'll see that we do actually get something back here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of skip like a little bit ahead. So I actually made if I go to github.com/overgo-1, then you go down to esc.py. I actually made an auto esc exploit script. esc automate. Right, it's used to automate those attack vectors. esc.py. Go to raw, we can just you get this. So we do see this ESC1, and the reason that we see it now is because he has user enrollable rights for service CA. We have those enrollment rights like right there, okay? And then what else we have, or what other information we would need to know, is the template name. It is enabled, right? We should look at if a manager approval is needed, and if it is false, and that's good for us. Is manager requires manager approval is false. Cool. Okay, so we should be able to exploit this right here. What I'm going to do first is do a quick wget, that like right there, and I'll go ahead and do a Python 3 on esc.py. Okay. We are going to need a domain name, which is welcome.local, a domain controller IP address, we're going to do this like right here, a username, which is going to be svcca, a password, which is that like right there. Victim is if you want to change because it'll go by administrator by default, but if you want to put in another victim or something like that, or a different admin, you can. If the target, excuse me, target is the ADCS server, but we can just put in the domain controller again for this one. Go ahead and hit enter there. You can go ahead and it's going to do everything for us. It'll show you the commands as it prints off. It is made for Certify, not Certify AD. So if you are using Certify AD and you like to use it and you don't want to install Certify, you just go ahead and change up all the places that says Certify to Certify AD. Be really simple with this context. Okay, cool. Now it says, hey, parse some vulnerable templates, ESC1. Okay, so what number of template would you like? 1. So if it finds more than 1, you can actually pick which one you want to do. They go through, it's going to do its thing, and we get the administrator's hash here. That's because the administrator is on this machine, it works and everything like that, it is enabled. The administrator is disabled, we want to get their hash back, and we'd have to do other things. Now, this is great for CTF, like right here. But obviously, in real life, you just don't want to do a certify auth, things like that. So you could put in little things or whatever else, or just have it just drop the PFX file and be done with it, whatever, right? Because we should be able to also log in with a PFX file if we want to. Do it on CSMB 10.1.4.50, help, rep by PFX. And you do learn this within my course, logging in with a PFX file. So we say something like PFX cert. And then we would do administrator.pfx, right? FU administrator. I don't remember if I need to attack P or not. We would see, yep, he did pawn it, cool. Then from here, we could do something like attack X, DIR and C, users, administrator, desktop. And now run a command on the machine there. And then from here, we should actually get the DIR back for it. Directory listing back for C users for your desktop. We should actually see it. Oh, it doesn't like that. Okay, so it says that might have been detected by AV. So that's okay. We still have his hash. We can still log in, whatever else we want to do. But if we want to log in, we can go ahead and log in through evil-winrm. We do something like evil-winrm. Boom. Okay, then from here, cd.back/desktop, dir, and then there's our root.tech. Our user.tech is in C users A Harris desktop. So the user.txt is here. And then there we go, there's our user.txt. Hope you learned something about this little lesson like right here. If you did learn something, go ahead and check the course out. It's $24.99. All the proceeds that I get go to autism. Yeah, we learn a lot in that course also. Hope you all have a good one, and I'll talk to you all later.